Wow, we did it. All right, everyone, thanks for joining. My name is Hope. I'm one of the wellness specialists. This is Let's Do Lunch, and today we are making a nice salad. So even though we got about 4 inches of snow last night, the calendar technically says that it's spring as of Tuesday, so we're going to do a really springy salad today. Now, I know a lot of you said that you really like doing salads for lunch. When I asked on this meeting a couple of weeks ago what everybody's favorite lunch food was that they could eat all the time forever, a lot of people answered salad. So I figured it's high time to do a salad and talk about all the different ways we can make our salad really satisfying and hit all the food groups, all the building blocks, everything you need for a satisfying meal that's going to help you stay sustained till your next meal or snack. So let's get started. I've picked a lot of really springy ingredients, even though I'm looking outside the window and seeing a lot of snow. So the first springy ingredient we have is arugula. So this is going to be a lettuce salad, but not all salads are lettuce salads. This one does happen to incorporate some lettuce. So I'm going to do a good hefty pinch of arugula into my bowl. You can see I'm using a really big bowl because salad is high volume, so we got to have a lot of room for all the ingredients. And I enjoy the flavor of arugula, but it's a little bit strong. So I'm going to do half arugula and half a different kind of lettuce, just to make sure that I'm getting some good variety. This is baby red and green leaf lettuce. And if you haven't had this kind of lettuce before, I just want to show you. It comes in these really cute green crunchy curls, and they're just so delicious. It's a really nice way to get some green and some life into your winter months. So I really like this baby red and green leaf lettuce when it's wintertime. Reminds me of fresher days. Look how cute these little curls are. So I'm using half that and half arugula. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a whole grain to this salad. So even though it's based on lettuce, we are going to add a whole grain. And the reason for that is when we're thinking about a balanced meal and a balanced salad, we want to make sure we have all the food groups that we can and all the macronutrients. And the macronutrient that gets forgotten in salads a lot of the time is carbohydrates. So we're going to do that with a whole grain that might be familiar to some people and might be new. This is farro. Give me a thumbs up if you've had farro before, and give a surprised face if you've never had it. I just want to talk about it because it's a different whole grain. Most Americans got some thumbs ups, got some surprises. Awesome. So we got a lot of surprise faces. So it's a whole grain. It's kind of shaped like rice. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a little bit like a fat grain of rice. It's a wheat berry, so it's related to the sort of thing that you would grind up to make flour. So this is a whole grain that you can add to just mix things up. Oh, someone wants a close up of the packaging. If you want to just like mix things up to try a new food, get some more fiber, it's a great way to get something different that's got a lot of good nutrients. So when you cook it, you can either steam it like rice, where you do 1 cup of farro and 2 cups of water, and then boil it, put the lid on, turn it down. You can steam it that way. I really like to cook it like pasta. I think the texture is just a little bit better. So you just boil it and then drain it when you're done. Mark is asking a good question. Is it gluten-free? It is not gluten-free. It is wheat. So if you're gluten-free, you don't want to use farro on this salad. You want to use quinoa or brown rice, or even maybe some cubed up sweet potatoes, cubed up roasted sweet potatoes. But the reason that I really like it texture-wise is because of the gluten. So the gluten is going to give it a really pleasant, chewy texture. I did cook this ahead of time. I'm not cooking it in 15 minutes. It takes about 25 minutes to cook. So this is a good way to repurpose your leftovers. If you have farro for dinner the night before, you can put a good scoop of it onto your salad the next day. So gluten, while we're talking about it, is not harmful for people who don't have a sensitivity or celiac disease. It's not an unhealthy food. It's actually a protein. So when we're counting up our protein later, gluten is actually going to be the protein source in this. So I just got like a pretty good hefty scoop on there on top of my lettuce. The next thing we're going to do are our nice, really springy vegetables. So today I have some sugar snap peas, which I know are a crowd favorite. A lot of people have mentioned that these are your favorite vegetable, and I believe they're coming in season pretty soon. So I'm going to run them under the water really quick to just give them a nice rinse. trying to be good and rinsing my vegetables. They're a little wet. So those are going to go on there. And if you're making this like a really nice salad to serve to guests, you would probably want to throw these onto a cutting board and chop them up. We don't have a lot of time. We're just making a fast salad, so they're going on whole. The next thing I have is a watermelon radish. This might be another new ingredient to some of you. So again, give us thumbs up if you've had this before. Watermelon radish, give us a prize face if you have not had it before. It doesn't look like very much from the outside, but wait till you see when I cut it. I saw a couple of surprises and a couple of thumbs ups. It's not gorgeous from the outside, but the inside is absolutely gorgeous. Got a lot of knives around here. All right. So I'm just going to be slicing off the stem end and the root end. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Of this radish. Ellen is giving a big love to watermelon radishes. Yes, they are really good. I'm going to go ahead and peel this too. I don't know if everybody peels them, but I'm going to. So they are a little bit sweeter and a little bit milder than their cousin that you're more familiar with, which is the red radish. But even so, even though they're a little bit milder than that one, they still have a little bit of a bite to them. Definitely a little bit of a funky flavor, which is good. We like funk. It makes our life interesting. So I'm just going to peel the outside off. Do they taste the same as regular radishes? I don't think so. I think they taste like a more mild version. Well, a more mild version of a regular radish. Okay, I'm going to cut this in half so you can see how beautiful the inside is. Oops, I think I cut it the wrong direction. So I cut it from tip to stem, but I think if I'd cut it the other way, you'd be able to see a better starburst pattern. Better. So it is the most brilliant pink thing you'll ever see. It's got a little starburst, and it's really gorgeous. So I'm actually going to take my vegetable peeler. I haven't done this before, but let's try it in real life. I'm going to take my vegetable peeler and just peel off some really thin slices to go into my salad. To just get a nice, this might not work. Oh yeah, it's working. So you can see I just peeled a really thin slice of radish with my peeler. I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing this way because it's going to get too small. So some of it I'll end up having to chop, but this is slicing some really delicious and really beautiful curls of radish onto this salad, giving it a really nice pop of color. All right, that's good for now. So you can see it's really pretty pink in the bowl there. The pink and the green is so springy and so exciting. All right, next up for our salad, the next thing we do to make it more satisfying is make sure we're including enough protein. Let's get the radish mess out of front and center. So protein is one of those nutrients that gets a lot of attention. It is not more important or less important than anything else that you eat, but it is a really good way to keep your energy levels up, keep your muscles strong. When you're aging, a little extra protein can help prevent muscle loss. When you are exercising, it can help with muscle repair, but mostly it keeps us feeling satisfied between meals. So if you have enough protein at your lunch, you won't be hankering for a snack so quickly in the afternoon. So we're going to, for this salad, aim to get about 20 to 30 grams of protein. We're going to do a little bit of a count. So I've got some hard-boiled eggs. I'm going maximum springtime here. So I'm going to put 2 hard-boiled eggs on there. And we know that, that an egg is approximately roughly 6 grams of protein. So that's about 12 for us here now. We actually get to count some of the protein in the farro. Not a lot, I would guess, for this serving roughly 4 grams of protein. So we're at what? 12 and 4 is 16. So we're going to add a little bit of pumpkin seeds, which are going to give us some more protein. That's going to give us, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons. We don't have to be super precise. We don't have to be like measuring everything. I'm going to measure 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds because that's going to give us another 4 grams of protein. I know that because I read the bag. So now we're up to 8 and 12, which is 20. That's very exciting. We're getting closer. The last thing I'm going to top it off with is a little bit of feta cheese. So if you're dairy-free, you probably don't want to put feta cheese on there. You could use a different type of cheese if you don't like feta. But This is also going to push our protein just right over that 20 to about 25. This package says an inch cube is about 5 grams of protein. So now we're at 25, which is awesome. That was my goal. This is also going to add a whole lot of really wonderful, briny, excellent flavor. All right, so that's our salad. We're going to put this to the side for now. I guess I'll show it to you. Close all my drawers. So we're going to look at this, and then we're going to make a really quick salad dressing to go on it. So that's got a lot of colors going on. It's got pinks, it's got greens, it's got yellows, it's got whites. It's very beautiful. So the next thing we'll do is make our dressing. So we're going to do this really quick. We've got 5 minutes. We can absolutely do it. So I'm going to make it into a jar with a tight-fitting lid so that I can shake it up. This is an old peanut butter jar. And when you're choosing a jar for your salad dressing, look for one that's got a little rubber seal in the lid. So some salsa brands, some peanut butter brands are going to help with that rubber seal to keep it closed while you shake your dressing. If you just use like any old jar, it might go splattering everywhere, and that is no fun. So this is lemony. I'm going to wash my lemon. This is a nice lemony spring dressing. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of lemon. Now you might have a really fancy, oh, this lemon does not look very good. All right, this one looks better. So you might have a fancy juicer. I do not have a fancy juicer. I have like what is this? A colander. This is a mini colander that's going to help to keep the seeds out when I just squeeze this by hand. If you have a good fancy juicer, you might be able to get the seeds out another way. But we are just going to squeeze this in. I'm trapping the seeds there on the top, you can see, so they don't get into my dressing. Fishing seeds out is really annoying. And so I'm measuring approximately 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You can see this is on the recipe that I sent out. Squeezing the lemon is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole thing. All right, so I just squeezed that right into my jar. So let's see if that's 2 tablespoons. This is a little measuring cup that's got lines on the side, but it's been through the dishwasher so many times that you can no longer read them. All right, I'm a little short because my lemon was not very good. So buy an extra lemon in case one of them is rotten. All right, so we got our lemon juice in there. The next thing we're gonna do is 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. You can do either a grainy seedy mustard or a yellow Dijon mustard. That's totally smooth. The mustard is going to act as an emulsifier. So it's gonna help to keep the water in the lemon juice and the oil from the olive oil to stay friends a little bit longer. So I am scraping it out with a little tiny spatula. If you have oil to measure, if you measure it first, you can help get the things out more quickly, but we don't have that yet. Here's my garlic. The next thing I'm going to do is a clove of garlic. If you have garlic powder, that actually might work better in here. Raw garlic tends to be really strong. So I'm using a really tiny, tiny clove from the middle of the bunch. And if you're not cooking your garlic, it's going to be a little bit spicy. So we're just going to go a little light on the garlic. This is my microplane. It's my favorite tool. It's just a little tiny grater for grating things. So when you grate this garlic into this lemon juice, if you just let it sit in the lemon juice and mustard for a little bit, that acid is going to help to tone it down just a little bit. And my headphones just died. Oh, here we go.
You're good. Oh. I am not hearing what you just said.
These are not working.
Oh, you're back.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
My headphones died. I'm sorry. Okay. So we've got our lemon juice and our garlic and our mustard kind of swirling around in the bottom of our jar. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of honey, which is going to help to kind of tame the acidity from the lemon juice and the mustard. And then we're going to add a couple of herbs and spices. Most interestingly, paprika is also going to work as an emulsifier. So it's going to help the lemon and the oil stay friends a little bit longer, help them hold hands. So half a teaspoon of paprika is kind of a lot. It's going to make your dressing very red, but it's going to help to keep the oil and the water together. We got all those things together, and then I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of oregano. I would have liked to do thyme, but I couldn't find it in my spice cabinet. And now we can all laugh. I couldn't find the thyme. All right, now I'm going to put my lid on. You'll notice that I haven't added the oil yet. I'm going to add this lid and shake it up pretty good. I think that's everything. Make sure that I get all the mustard and all the honey off the side. And once that's all together, then I'll add the oil at the end. We'll do a 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Now you might be wondering why we're making our own dressing when you can just buy it from the store, and you absolutely can just buy it from the store. But when you make it at home, you get to play with flavors, you get to control the salt and the sugar if you have goals around salt and sugar, and the ingredients just taste a lot fresher. The other thing with homemade dressing is that you get to choose high quality oil. So if you're buying olive oil or salad dressing from the store, a lot of times those are made with lower quality oils, but if you make it yourself, you know you're getting high quality olive oil. So that's what our dressing looks like all shaken up. And the other thing that I'm pretty not great at doing on this is tasting and adjusting. So this is just your reminder that you should taste things before you eat them to make sure that they're good. So you'll take just a leaf from your salad, dip it in your dressing to see if it needs any more salt. Oh, I forgot to put salt in this. To see if it needs any more salt or any more acidity from lemon juice. If it's too acid, you add a little bit more oil. If it needs a little bit more sweetness from the honey. So you'll want to taste and adjust to make sure it's to your liking, and then you can dress your salad and enjoy. Thank you all so much for coming. Sorry about the paella mishaps, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.